和打好一字之差，打好比打赢含金量更高。到2020年，现行标准下的贫困人口全部脱贫，在中国的历史上消除绝对贫困现象。现有的贫困县全部摘帽，消除区域性贫困。
都在用力地活着，爱恨成败里赢过也输过。
我说你把我们房子给拆了，谁给我们盖房子？
我也不知道，也不是我要拆你们的房子呀。
是你拆的呀。
房子是我拆的，但是我也不想拆呀。
但是谁让你拆的？
我也不知道。
谁让你拆的都不知道？
让爷爷给你盖房子。
我爷爷一个人盖吗？
叫你爸爸盖。
爸出去干活了，大概。
让你妈盖。
我没妈。
唉，那怎么弄呀？
那你们盖。
我给你盖呀。
啊。
我不会呀。
那你拆呀？为啥你会拆房子不会盖房子？
我只会拆房子，不会盖房子。
我要正告美国，你们的陈词滥调完全不符合事实。中国的人权发展成就举世瞩目，中国采取有效措施打击恐怖主义，维护国家安全，促进经济社会发展，得到全体中。
基督教领域还存在许多突出问题，比如境外渗透、私设聚会点、爱国爱教的高素质教牧人才缺乏，部分教牧人员和信徒法律意识淡薄等，如不加以重视，可能产生严重政治后果。必须认识到，我国教会信中不信西，西方反华势力妄图继续通过基督教影响我国社会稳定，甚至颠覆我国政权的行为，注定不会得逞。对于个别打着基督教旗号参与颠覆国家安全的害群之马，我们坚决拥护国家将他们绳之以法。立足新时代，我国基督教必须始终坚持中国化方向，积极与新时代中国特色社会主义社会相适应。
位于台湾西南空域，高度7000公尺的中共军机注意，你已进入我 ADID， 影响我飞行安全，立即回转脱离。
台湾地区，我是中国人民解放军，正在进行例行训练，请不要干扰我正常行动。
在美国主导的印太战略下，美、日、澳、印齐聚东京联合抗共，防范中共对台威胁。中共宣传抢购玉米，为物价上涨做好铺垫。中共企业为被美制裁辩护，欲迷惑国人。中共外事工作委员会办公室主任杨洁篪将于10月8日至12日正式访问斯里兰卡、阿联酋、阿尔及利亚、塞尔维亚，中共疫苗或成为焦点。韩国证实，前朝鲜驻意大利外交官曹成吉已于去年7月弃朝鲜投韩国。中共驻加使馆发言人对《环球邮报》报道不利消息而恼怒。 美国海军陆战队副司令盖里·托马斯上将确诊中共病毒。中共有组织、有计划的潘多拉之战即定点放毒。中共火箭军媒体宣传状态是满格回升，实战正好相反。台美复交重大利好台湾，制造恐惧是中共纸老虎的唯一武器。2019年10月7日，香港反送中运动，一未成年少女和平示威者被中共黑警抓捕。她单薄颤抖的身躯控诉着中共在香港犯下罪行，勿忘香港。
你背一下子，你把手伸出来，结果看到后面，看到手铐，看手铐，你们看手铐，看手铐，看手铐，跟着上警车，跟着上警车，别跑。跟着看他怎么带着上警车，跟着上警车，上警车，跟着看上警车，上警车，小警车那边。他里边还有人，他应该太多人了，还拦着。上警车，他不让过马路，刚才说了，我知道。让进。
他紧的把我手铐非常紧，现在非常紧，勒得我肉疼，非常紧啊！大海，大海，你向前拍好，你不靠你拍了啊，大海。他们要把我赶走了。海洋，海洋，海洋，加油！加油！加油！加油！而且，加油！开张CCP，开张CCP。You'll be fired! You'll be fired! You will be fired! Our lawyers coming! 海洋出来了！出来了！
好，我们看到海洋战友出现在我们的镜头前，大家非常非常的开心。是的，这个是我们让大家非常激动的一个画面。这就是我们新中国联邦，这就是我们爆料革命，这就是我们战友们应该有的样子。我们会越挫越勇。我们会持续战斗，我们会在惩贼行动上面，持续的给这些伪类加压力。欢迎回来，海洋战友，欢迎的回来。您受委屈了，海洋战友，还有2级战友，还有我们的芙蓉花战友。
Since U.S. President Donald Trump's COVID-19 infection was reported on Friday, more cases have been emerging at the White House. President Trump's senior advisor and speechwriter Stephen Miller is the latest to confirm he has tested positive. According to CNN, he has been working remotely and self-isolating for the past 5 days and confirmed he had contracted the virus on Tuesday local time. The Pentagon also reported that General Milley, the top U.S. military official and a member of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, is currently in self-quarantine. A Pentagon spokesperson said that they are conducting additional contact tracing and taking appropriate precautions, and that senior military leaders are able to perform their duties from an alternative work location. But concerns are still rising over the risk of infection for the White House staff.
President Trump is nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize for the third time this year. Reports say the nomination is coming from a group of Australian law professors. This includes David Flint, who argues the president is deserving of the highly sought-after award based on a long list of achievements, specifically referring to something called the Trump Doctrine.
What he has done with the Trump Doctrine is that he has decided that he would no longer have America involved in endless wars which achieved nothing but the killing of thousands of young Americans and enormous debts imposed on America, and nothing solved in the countries in which it is carried on.
This goes hand in hand with the president's historic peace deal negotiations between Israel and the UAE. A move President Trump made despite expert advice warning against the ambitious goal of seeking peace in the Middle East.
What Trump did was he went ahead and negotiated against all advice, but he did it with common sense. He negotiated directly with the Arab states concerned and Israel and brought them together, and these states are lining up, Arab and Middle Eastern, to join that network of peace which will dominate the Middle East.
The president has a long road ahead to secure the prize and will have to beat out hundreds of other nominees to make it to the finish line.
The second debate, we have a never-Trumper as a host, but that's okay because I'd beat him in the second debate also. And but I'm not going to do a virtual debate.
So Mr. President, you're not going to do it because the CPD, the Commission on Presidential Debates, announcing this morning that the second presidential debate will be virtual. Are you saying you're not going to participate?
No, I'm not going to waste my time on a virtual debate. That's not what debating's all about. You sit behind a computer and do a debate. It's ridiculous. And then they cut you off whenever they want. I have a host who I always thought was a nice guy, but I see he's a never-Trumper. Came out that he's a never-Trumper. We do have some of them, Maria, believe it or not, because they don't like to win.
I want everybody to be given the same treatment as your president, because I feel great. I feel like perfect. So I think this was a blessing from God that I caught it. This was a blessing in disguise. I caught it. I heard about this drug. I said, let me take it. It was my suggestion. I said, let me take it. And it was incredible the way it worked. Incredible. And I think if I didn't catch it, we'd be looking at that like a number of other drugs. But it really did a fantastic job. I want to get for you what I got, and I'm going to make it free. You're not going to pay for it. It wasn't your fault that this happened. It was China's fault. And China's going to pay a big price, what they've done to this country. China's going to pay a big price, what they've done to the world. This was China's fault. And just remember that.
I want to thank everyone who cares about my family. I didn't mention it before, but now it's the first time I want to tell people that. This is not the first time my mom and my other family member get arrested by the Chinese Communist Party. As I know, although I cut off most of connection with my family directly, this is the fourth time My mom, 63 years old teacher, got arrested by Chinese Communist Party. I'm the only child in my family. My mom has done nothing wrong. The only thing they arrest my mom and send her to Beijing is because I tell the truth of COVID-19, which Chinese government feel angry about. What they have done is try to make me silent.
That's Dr. Li Mingyang, the defector from the lab that came to the United States to speak truth. And the Global Times, you know, the New York Post, or the New York Post, actually a good tabloid. This is a rag, propaganda rag. They've got they don't like this Pew study. The Pew study says that people know that they are bad guys. It's not China, by the way. It's not the Chinese people. Lao Beijing are the most decent, hardworking people on earth. They're the deplorables. We fight and assist them in their struggle for freedom every day. But they talk about Western public opinion cannot stop China's progress, happiness, right? The thing that's stopping China's progress and happiness is the Chinese Communist Party and the devils that run it. But they've got a great line in here. They talk about, you know, it's radical actions by the Trump administration, all this stuff throughout the world. It's because of Trump. But then they've got they're talking about specifically what Washington's doing. It says Washington has put forward a very absurd logic that China should be held accountable for COVID-19 pandemic. The anti-intellectual and anti-scientific sophistry is very suitable to the spread of populism. Thank you very much. You're connecting dots there, right? No, the populists are going to hold you accountable, looking at the science. It came from the Wuhan lab, and it either came through your biological weapons program, which you're not supposed to have, or it came through a gain-of-function experiment. Now, you can say you're working on a vaccine. Whatever you're working on, you weren't qualified to do it. It got out somehow, but then you exacerbated that. We know for a fact, and you admit you lied about it, this thing, it's called COVID-19 for a reason, right? It's from 2019. Well, you lied about it until you told the world basically on the 23rd of January when you locked down Hubei province and put Wuhan into quarantine. That month is what did this. Southampton University said if you had just been honest, and Dr. Yan is a witness, as a fact witness. Her time, and forget the reports she's doing, all this brain analysis she's doing, walking through why it couldn't have come from your lies, why it couldn't have come from the wet market, of which you went in and shut down and hosed out all the data, right, all the evidence. It couldn't have come from a bat cave. She proves that in her brilliant papers, right? But she's a fact witness on the chain of title of how you lied about it and knew about it back in January, and then went out and got all the PPE and easily lied to the morons, Dr. Ted and the crew at the World Health Organization. We reported this on War Room Pandemic in January about the tweets of the World Health Organization, the press releases on the 12th and the 14th of January. Southampton University said 95% of the death and destruction. So no, this is a genocide. You are responsible for the 1 million deaths, and you're responsible for more. It looks like the United States could go, I don't know, 300,000, 400,000, maybe more, right? You're responsible. You started this. I think, and I would beseech the White House, as we've been doing, hold these guys accountable. You want to get the spotlight. Now CNN's trying to, President Trump did not cause the pandemic. Okay, President Trump's been taking action to try to stop the pandemic. You may not like all his actions, right? You might like Biden's, I want to stay in a cave, I want to put a mask on, and but Joe Biden can do that because Hunter took all the illegal cash from the Chinese, so Joe Biden's got a nice retirement off of Chinese money, and he's got Jill there every day to put the bib on and feed him Gerbers, right? He's got a gig, just sitting there being fed. He didn't have to go out and work, right? He doesn't have to go out into the world. I thought Dr. Yan's performance last night on Tucker Carlson was extraordinary. She's been very quiet, very stoic, as she basically revealed last night. They've been after her parents. This is the reason, if you listen to the show, all of the names, we never show the faces. I think we showed one face one time of, I think it was Zach, but he was covered up and he just had the glasses on. And they're all nom de jures, right? Because the first thing they tell us is that the pressure comes from them rounding up our family and our friends and our colleagues. It's like the old way the Romans and the SS used to do it, right? You round up the village and say, hey, anybody that knew these guys at all, you're getting it.
And they've taken it to another level, Steve. In the last year and a half, they promoted this program where they're taking DNA samples of every single male in China. Now, they claim that this is so that in future, if somebody commits a crime or something, they'll be able to find them. But really what analysts believe this is for is so that if anybody steps off the reservation, you cannot hide. We can track you and your family by DNA, and we will get those close to you.
亲爱的兄弟姐妹们，今天啊，很多大事要做，很多大事要做啊！所有的全世界的兄弟姐妹们，永远记住2个红线：法律红线、道德红线。咱谁都不怕，哎，就谁啊！兄弟姐妹们，时间、行动、结果啊，它是有记忆的，何况我们有 GTV 呢？是吧？今天我们的严博士科学家啊，刚刚这1-2个小时以前，刚刚的推出啊第2份报告，又震惊了天下。这就叫行动。几个月以前的科学家严博士啥都不是，普普通通，他今天是全人类的英雄。这是用他的生命和选择和决定 ，action 的结果，对吧？啊，就像我身上穿的衣服，啊，大家看到了，每一件衣服都是我设计的，啊，不管有多累啊，不管有多累，但是设计。他今天就出现了这结果，是吧？你看看，是吧？是吧？这就是啊，老天是公平的。但是我们沿2个底线，道德底线、法律底线啊，亲爱的兄弟姐妹们，别听是谁瞎咋呼啊！
川普总统回到椭圆形办公室。川普总统因 CCP 病毒再次谴责中国，他承诺北京当局将为他们对世界所做的一切付出巨大的代价。全球冠状病毒病例超过了3600万，美国报告了5万多起新增感染病例，巴西的感染病例超过了500万，意大利的新增感染病例创下了超过5个月以来的新高。大流行可能会导致全球1.5亿人陷入极端的贫困。世界经济论坛一项调查显示，失业是未来10年全球企业高管最大的担忧。外交部大臣表示，因中共对维吾尔族穆斯林的迫害，英国可能抵制北京冬季奥运会。